guys, it's September 2019 and here is our clip for this month, and it's about a very traditional Pilates exercise called the mermaid. So the mermaid is a position from which you do lateral flexion or side bending of the spine. And always in a workout you want to incorporate forward bending of the spine, back bending of the spine, side bending and also rotation. So this is one way to do side bending, but it's a demanding setup, it's a demanding position. But that is part of the benefit of mermaid, but it's also the challenge. There are other ways to do side bending and I'll come to that, but the position for mermaid is tricky, and here's why. It requires a lot of flexibility and mobility in the hip joint, flexibility in all these muscles that cross the hip. You have one leg forward and one leg back. I've got better at this over the years, but I must admit I do find it challenging even now. And you may, I don't know if you can tell whether or not I'm dead set. Just for contrast, I'll swap. Think this is my less good side now, and I'm tending to want to lean, so I've got a real challenge to sit as tall as possible, and that's part of the challenge, is part of the benefit. Okay, to assist in you getting this little spine length and hip opened position, you could sit on a block. If you tighten the hamstrings, this can help. If you sit on a block and it doesn't help, it doesn't instantly make you feel better, don't use it. It's probably pointless. The other thing is, if where your foot is at the back, your bottom is slightly lifted, then you can roll the thigh bone forwards and back, and that will get the thigh bone sitting a bit deeper and get the sit bone and that buttock sort of more grounded to the floor. So, I mean, this is a lot of work, and we haven't even started yet. So that's the setup, okay? So then you have the side bend bit. So this is with arms to sort of give me some support, and I'm breathing in, breathing out, up and over into my support arm, and breathing in to come back, and then the other side. Now the asymmetry of the legs means that it feels different on both sides. One side, when you go to foot at the front, feels more obviously about articulation of the spine. When you go to the area where the foot is at the back, it feels much more stretchy. Now, part of that sense of stretch is coming from the shoulders and the arm movement. So you can sort of contrast and go hands free, but it's very, you don't get the sense of movement. You strip out the effect of the shoulders, but it's harder to stabilise and harder to gain range. One last thing, you're trying to side bend the upper back, or mid upper back around the rib cage. So you want to be aware that that is moving and you're grounded into your pelvis. It's tempting to lean and lift the bottom, but keep the bottom and the trunk square on and move more from the rib cage. Do about 6 or 7 per side, and then you've got to change those arms. Now for some people, particularly if this position is too harsh on the knees and this is what's happening in class, then I'd advise a different tack. You want your trusty blocks. Don't we always need us trusty blocks, eh? Sit on however many you need to sit tall. And then again, you want to be sitting tall, so knees, legs straight, knees slightly bent or out like this, and then you don't get the asymmetry, you don't get the sense of difference quite so much, but you do fundamentally get, I'm leaning back aren't I, the side bend. Breathing out to go away and breathing in to come back. And with all of these, keeping your head and neck on top of the body. Now, if even, well, it could be the different context that you're working and you want to do lateral flexion, side bending, then you know what? You can just use any old chair. And I quite often use the chair as a position to do side bending. So, and it's so much easier, isn't it, to get straight back relax legs, sit bones on the chair and the back straight, and you can, well actually, I've got a long bench, so I'm putting my hands here. You would be more likely to be arms here in a proper chair. This is what happens when you demonstrate on the side of your reformer. There we go, that's a better demo, isn't it? Side bend or side bend. There is a standing version, but I'm going to cover that in a slightly separate clip because I'm going to do it with and without a wall. So there's different flavours of mermaid. It's a great exercise, challenging but well worth doing. Cheerio for now. Hi there. I do hope you found this clip useful. We've got plenty more on the site, and for now I've suggested another one for you to watch. If you want to know more about what we do in Leeds, then do visit the website at pilates-leeds.com, and right now you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and we can do this all again next month. Cheerio!